What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is a very special day because today is family day, and I hope you guys are of course enjoying family day and spending time with your family members. And today's video, as you can see from the title, we are of course talking about the best and worst Ninjago parents from of course the show. Now I already did something similar to this with talking about best and worst Ninjago couples for Valentine's Day. And now for today's video, I'll be of course talking about my best and worst Ninjago parents. So without further ado, let's begin. Our first parents is none other than Garmadon and Masaka, of course being the parents of Lloyd Garmadon. Now I really love, of course, these parents and of course one of the most iconic Ninjago parents. And of course, these two as parenting Lloyd is somewhat something. I mean, Sako just abandons Lloyd for an entire year, and Garmadon became evil, so he didn't take care of Lloyd a lot. So basically, Lloyd's sort of like adopted by, of course, his uncle. So that's pretty much it. I mean, they're not the best parents ever. Don't get me wrong. I really love Garmadon and Misako. The weird part is that they never interact a lot in, of course, the show entirely. The only thing that's close that we have them talk to each other or in frame or in a scene together is in season 4 of Tournament of Elements and in March of the Oni for a quick second, and that's probably it. They never talk to each other ever again. I mean, I think they probably did a bit in Crystallize and probably somewhere between, I think, Rebooted. But yes, oh, I forgot they did interact in the end of Legacy of the Green Ninja. So yeah, nothing else I'm gonna talk about. Of course, Garmadon and Masako. So let's move on to our next parents. The next one is also a well-known one, and personally my favorite parents, and we of course got Ray and Maya, of course the parents of Kai and Nia. Now I really love, of course, Ray and Maya. Probably Ray. I mean, Ray is so funny, and I really like Maya. Maya is a really enjoyable character, and of course we had this plot of course Kai and Nia's parents were of course missing, and we finally get to see them in of course Hands of Time, and they didn't had a big role in of course Hands of Time. They had minor roles. Seabound, Maya and Ray did had a major role in Seabound, mostly Maya because she of course went with Nia, while Kai stayed with of course Ray to play video games. And I really love the father-son relationship between Kai and of course Ray, both being voiced by Vincent Tong, and of course their of course gaming skills in of course Seabound. I really love of course Kai and Nia's parents a lot. I mean, I want to personally, if I want to be with any Ninjago parent, it would be with Ray and Maya. I mean, they're sweet, and of course Maya cooks great sandwiches with extra crispy bacon. I mean, boy oh boy, wouldn't I would just spend a day with of course with Ray and Maya. Probably one of my favorite Ninjago parents out there. Up next, we of course got Lou and Lily, which of course are the parents of Cole, and I really love Lily's backstory of her becoming a ninja after her grandfather becoming the Elemental Master of Earth, which of course she took on the mantle of the Elemental Master of Earth and finally passing it down to her son Cole. And her backstory was kind of tragic, and of course she got a sickness, and of course she sadly passed away. And I wish we got more backstory between of course her character, and thank God they made books for her backstory. And Lou, I mean, Lou doesn't care about his son in season 1, but now I'm proud of him that he now support and cares about Cole after many years. And they're not, I mean, they're not the worst parents, to be honest. I mean, well, Leo sort of hated his son, but overall, I mean, I really love their moment when, of course, in the virtues of spinjitzu, we see, of course, a flashback of course, a young Cole, of course, seeing, of course, Lou and, of course, Lily dancing. Overall, they're not the worst parents ever. I mean, with the other parents that we have left, I mean, they're not the worst. So they're like in the good parents tier. So let's move on to our next parents. Up next, we of course got Ed and Edna, which is of course Jay's adopted parents. We'll talk about his birth parents up next, but let's start with, of course, his adopted parents first. Now, I really love Ed and Edna's characters, and they give like some cool, funny moments with these characters, with of course Jay, and being adopted parents and being good parents with Jay, it actually pretty works well with Jay, compared to Jay's birth parents, which of course one of them died, and then her mother just left her. So don't know what happened to them, but I'll talk about them next. But anyways, Ed and Edna are very good parents to Jay, and Ed and Edna support Jay a lot, and it's weird that they never told Jay that he is, of course, adopted. I mean, I can't believe they were keeping that secret for a while now, and that's surprising right there. But they're great parents with Jay compared to, of course, Jay's actual birth parents, which we'll talk about right now. Now, we of course got Jay's birth parents, Cliff Gordon, and Jay's mother, which she doesn't have a name. But anyways, I hate these parents because, I mean, don't get me wrong, if you do like Cliff Gordon and Jay's mother, leave it down in the comments down below if you support them. And, I mean, they of course abandoned Jay. I mean, of course, Jay's mother, of course, had a honeymoon with Cliff Gordon. And of course, they had Jay, but apparently Cliff Gordon passed, I think, during season 6, or probably after Jay's birth. I'm not sure. And Jay's mother, of course, went to Edna's junkyard to, of course, give away, Jay, and she went somewhere, I don't know. But we don't really know what happened to Jay's mother. So, yeah, I wish there was a plot storyline. Like, for example, it would have been cool if Prime Empire was, of course, a Jay season that, which Jay's mother actually goes to Prime Empire to rescue Scott in the video game, but she's not a pro gamer, which she got stuck into Prime Empire for all these years, and Jay would, of course, discover her mom, like, forever, and that would be a plot if Prime Empire was good. If Jay discovered her mom, that because what if his mom was, of course, trapped in Prime Empire because, of course, she was trying to get Scott out of the game, saving Scott. And that would be cool because we don't know of where she is in Ninjago. She probably passed, or she probably moved on, or something like that, having a normal life. But my theory would be, of course, Jay's mom would be like stuck in Prime Empire with Scott, and it would have been cool if Jay actually rescued her mom. Like, that would be a cool plot point. But enough talking about Jay's birth parents. Let's just move on. Up next, we got Dr. Julian, who is, of course, the father and maker of, course, Zane, Echo Zane, the Falcon, that one tiny robot, and that's about it, I guess. But anyways, Dr. Julian is, of course, a great father and, of course, a great inventor to, of course, with Zane. And, of course, he passed away between the events of Season 2 and Season 3. They never explain how in the show, but it's confirmed that he got, like, a sickness or something and passed away between seasons. So that was kind of weird. I mean, if Dr. Julian still stayed, in the show, we could have just seen him in more seasons. But fortunately, they probably had to cut Dr. Julian out because we need a better inventor, and we got Cyrus Borg, which we'll talk about Cyrus Borg a bit in this video. But I mean, Dr. Julian, a great inventor. I mean, some people say that he's a monster, and of course, I don't get why though, but whatever. It's the people's opinions, but eh. I mean, Dr. Julian's a great father and a great inventor. I mean, basically, he did have a wife and then had his own kids. He never had any elemental powers, so basically, he's just a normal inventor and stuff. And it's weird that he passed away between season 2 and 3. Surely, I wish we had him more in other seasons. Like, it'd be great if we saw him a day in Departed, something like that. I don't know, probably in season 3. But I mean, he died, so unfortunately, that's kind of disappointing. Yeah, I wish we saw a bit more of Dr. Julian. He's an okay parent, so yeah. But without further ado, let's keep moving on. Now let's talk about Cyrus Borg, which is, of course, he is the father of course, Pixel. Now, Cyrus Borg has helped the ninjas many, many times throughout each season. He helped the ninjas in, of course, the Digiverse. He, of course, helped the ninjas, I believe, in Possession, in season 5 when he built vehicles. He, of course, helped the ninjas a lot throughout the season. And me, I hope we get to see the return of Cyrus Borg in, of course, Dragon's Rising. I mean, we did saw Borg Tower in the very first episode of Dragon's Rising, and we never see, of course, Borg Tower ever again in this season. In fact, we never saw the streets of Ninjago. I mean, we saw Ninjago City, but we never saw Ninjago City since the first episode of Dragon's Rising. So it's kind of crazy that it's the first season not showing Ninjago City. I mean, the streets of Ninjago City. I mean, that's what I'm saying. But overall, I mean, Cyrus Borg is a great father to Pixel. I mean, now he's not even a father to Pixel. Pixel has her own family, which is, of course, the ninjas. I mean, Cyrus Borg is, just became like a mentor figure to, of course, Pixel. So, yeah. Now let's talk about the new parents. First off being, of course, Aaron's parents. Now, to be honest, we never got a lot of course, Aaron's parents. We only got a glimpse of them in, of course, the first episode of Dragon's Racing. But there's probably gonna be a whole story or arc of Aaron fighting his parents. So probably once Dragon's Rising ends, only that Aaron Ninjago, not just the whole franchise, but just Dragon's Rising entirely, we might see a plot point where Aaron finally meets his parents after many, many years after losing his parents after the merge. I mean, we don't have a lot of huge details we have about Aaron's parents, but it's kind of a mystery, and I really want to know a lot about Aaron's parents. I mean, Aaron's parents. I mean, they kind of rhyme. I'm not sure if they rhyme, but anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. But anyways, Aaron's parents. I mean, we never got a lot of them. Plus, they never got a lot of screen time. And of course, Aaron's parents will be kind of important to, of course, in an upcoming Dragon's Rising story plot. So can't wait to see how, of course, Aaron will reunite with, of course, with his parents once again. Now getting into, of course, the final two. This is probably one of the worst parents ever. And first off on the list, we, of course, got Harumi's parents. Now, Harumi's parents were, of course, dicks to, of course, Harumi. And, of course, it was their fault. And, of course, the building crashed into them. So I don't know why they, of course, they chose that decision. I mean, Harumi, of course, was safe, but Harumi's parents, they're gone. So That was a bad choice. I mean, I'm sorry for being completely hating Harumi's parents. I know they were nothingless in, of course, season 8, but of course, I gotta talk about this. I mean, the other Ninjago parents, such as King Chimar or Vangelis, those are great parents. But Harumi's parents, they're sort of nothingless, to be honest. They have like no souls at all. I mean, I'm just being honest, you guys. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm being too harsh about Harumi's parents, but this is what I gotta do. I mean, they're not the worst. They're like my second worst. What is my worst Ninjago parents? Well, let's talk about it right now. And the worst Ninjago parents by far is a recent Ninjago parents, and which is of course Sora's parents. Now, Sora's parents were complete dicks to, of course, Sora, and yeah, they're totally just kind of stupid and kind of cuckoo right there. I mean, of course, they don't believe about Sora. Like in the episode We Are All Dragons, they of course watched Sora in live TV on the news, telling everyone, "Hey, the Empress is of course evil. He's using dragons to drain their powers and stuff." And all the civilians in the Imperium joined her side, except Sora's parents, which they think that of course the Empress is of course good, and Sora's parents is on her side of Sora's. And of course, you're complete idiots for some reason. They have no brains. I think they lose a whole bunch of brain cells. And yeah, thank God we are never gonna see Sora's parents ever again. I mean, I'm happy they finally learned their lesson in some way, I guess. But Sora's parents is sort of like, Lloyd's parents, but even more worse. But I'm happy in the end, Sora finally has a new family, which is, of course, the ninjas. So thank God she didn't want to live with, with her parents, because that would be terrible. But that is it, you guys, of me talking about the best and worst Ninjago parents. Have I missed any Ninjago parents? Comment down below and tell me your favorite Ninjago parents down in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy Family Day, and of course, enjoying your families. And of course, that's gonna be it with this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys subscribe, turn on notifications whenever I post a brand new video. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!